Hi everyone, my name is Claire. I am a simmer and content creator, and today I am going to be doing a mullet build. I actually got this idea from Deligracy. I saw it over on her channel first, and her build was chef's kiss, extraordinary, amazing, beautiful, iconic, never been done before. I do also know that Kayla has done this challenge. Kayla, please don't come for me. I have not watched your video yet. I'm really sorry. Please don't come for me. But I will be watching her video soon. But after I saw Deli do this challenge, I had to do it myself. So if you don't know what the mullet build trend that's going on over the internet is, it's basically that from the front of your house, your build just looks like a traditional, whatever, a suburban house. But from the back, she do be looking like a certain avant-garde, modern, je ne sais quoi, the other woman vibes going on. So basically it's business in the front, party in the back, just like a mullet. Wow, so original. Who would have thought? Not me. If you would like to see more Sims related content, building, gameplay, or otherwise, make sure to subscribe to my channel, leave a like on this video, and give me a cheeky comment down below. Let me know what it is that you would like to see. All right, so let's jump into this build. Right from the get-go, I want to say again, I did not come up with this idea myself. This is something that I saw Deli do, and I think she found this like really great article that had a bunch of reference pictures in it. So I just Googled mullet build and found all kinds of different pictures, and the reference that I ended up loosely basing this off was a really weird build. First of all, even the traditional front was kind of wonky. It was this weird sort of like double A-frame roof that was kind of staggered. One was a little bit bigger than the other, and the shingling was really asymmetrical. Like you can see, I'm kind of trying to replicate it with one side going longer than the other side. So it was kind of weird to replicate this like weird wonky build. Like there's limits in The Sims, you know? Everything kind of works on the grid system. So when you're replicating any kind of real floor plan or a real build, you're always going to run into a little bit of trouble. But it was super fun. And all the windows and stuff aren't the same, but I remember looking at this build thinking it was fun because the windows from the front were just these two tiny like little triangular windows. It almost looked kind of like a witch's house, which is I think what drew me to it in the first place. You know, we love a witchy build on this channel, and I just loved the idea that it was this like witchy build and that they were going to make it all modern and traditional. And this was another aspect that I really enjoyed about it. This was going to give me the opportunity to play with platforms, and even though the front of the build, the actual structure of the house itself was modern, clearly these owners had made this really fun path leading up to it. We see them playing with platforms, and you'll see as I like get into this build properly that the actual front garden is super modern, which is really fun. But then, okay, so here's the other crazy thing about this build. Do you see that little archway? That little archway right there? Off to the side of the house, there's this like weird little archway that isn't actually a part of the inside of the build in the actual house. It's like kind of leads to nowhere, which was very bizarre. But I was umming and ahhing about how to do it, and I think you'll see throughout this speed build that I actually like tweak the structure of it like a lot of times. Wasn't sure what I was gonna do with that little archway, whether I was gonna keep it. I don't know. It was a weird one. I hadn't built from a floor plan or from like reference in a really long time. And building from reference is hard. Just the proportions is difficult. And I think if I had done this again, if I could do this again, I would have chosen a bigger lot. I think I chose a small lot specifically to keep the scale together, because I don't know if you guys have ever tried to build from a floor plan, but in real life houses are huge. Houses are huge, and when they're not on a grid system, it doesn't have, well, okay, let me rephrase that. The houses aren't huge. It's just that real life houses aren't built on a grid, so the scaling is really different, and we know that scaling in The Sims is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. So it's just kind of hard to make the scaling work, but you know, we're doing our best, and that's why I wanted to pick a small lot size, because I didn't want to end up building some like mammoth humongous home. If any of you have ever built from floor plans, you have been in this situation where you think you're gonna build this like tiny cute little cottage from a reference, and then you end up building this like epic 50 by 40 lot. It's a nightmare. So what I was trying to do is, in this real build, in the real reference, it's a pretty simple front, like white walls, black windows, nothing crazy going on. But I wanted it to look a little more traditional than what the picture looks like. The picture still had it looking kind of modern, but because the garden is so modern in the front, and you know, we're limited by what is available in Maxis, I wasn't playing with any CC or anything here. Because the garden is so modern, I wanted the build to feel a little bit more traditional. And where these little cactuses are, actually underneath that is gravel, and I did not put that gravel in there. You'll see me toy with it. I was like, oh, am I gonna place the gravel one by one? Am I gonna put the little rocks in there? Blah, blah, blah. And then once I started placing the rocks, I was like, I don't know if this looks better. I genuinely don't think this looks better than if I just leave it alone and we just have the suggestion of gravel. It doesn't need to really be the gravel. So we have a suggestion of gravel in the back. So that's kind of the front of the house. You see me now making the back, and I had to take some liberties with both of these. I only saw one picture of the front and one picture of the back as I went in to build this. But the back of the house that is the mullet of the build does replicate in essence the structure of the front. So there's these two kind of A-frame roofs, but you can see that they are totally different scale because they were built after, and it's not trying to replicate, you know, a mirror style, like exactly mirror the front of the house. But the back is by far my favorite. I love builds like this. I don't know if you guys watch Grand Designs. It's one of my favorite shows on the planet. Kevin MacLeod is he's just so fun to watch. He's the host of the show, and he's like super theatrical and really, really fun. But there is a build on Grand Designs that is a shed build. This guy, who's an architect, ends up wanting his house to be like a big shed. And I remember because he's Northern Irish, and he just had the best accent. So every time he was talking about his house, he's like, I'm building a shed. Any Irish people, please don't come for me in the comments, but he kept calling it a shed, just like that, a shed. And I just thought it was the best accent ever. I thought it was so amazing. And after I watched that episode, I couldn't get his shed build out of my head. And it ends up being super cheap and really, really beautiful. Like it's funny how the simplest structures really are the most satisfying and the most beautiful to look at. So that's what I was channeling when I was building this back, was the Grand Designs episode of the shed build. And out here in this original build, there's like a weird fire pit bench in the original build, and I was trying to replicate it with that fire pit coffee table, trying to get that those marble slab. I believe it's a bench, or is it no, actually, I think it's an entertainment console, like a TV console. I was trying to see if I could like MacGyver my own fire pit bench, but I think I ended up like nixing it because there was too much clipping. I couldn't like believably say like, yes, this is a bench. It doesn't look anything like a bench. So I said, you know what? We're just gonna ignore that reference picture and just like put a fire pit and extend out this patio, okay? And also the patio in the original build doesn't look exactly like this. Again, I put this on too small of a lot. If I had done this again, I would pick a much bigger lot. But you know, we're making lemonade out of lemons. I'd already done so much of the build. I was not about to pick it up and put it on a different lot. So I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna finish this as it is and, you know, take liberties. And you will note that I specifically do not show you the reference picture because it looks a lot like the reference picture, but not like perfect. We took it as inspiration. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it still looks cute as hell. Even now, I think it's cute. Oh yeah, see, this is where I try to replicate the gravel, but there's just no good gravel in the game. Please let me know in the comments when you have to use gravel, and I don't mean that tiny gravel. I know we have terrain paint with that tiny gravel. I mean like thicker gravel, like big, like let's say 2-inch size rocks. What do you do when you have gravel that big? Because I can never find the right size of gravel. And honestly, gravel that big is kind of dangerous because when I was a kid, I went to a playground. I went to a playground that had gravel that big, which if you're like 4, is gonna like impale your face like that. That's gonna put a hole through your face if you fall into that and you're 4. And I, being 4, did fall into it and got the most insane cuts on my elbows and my knees. And you know, when you're a kid and you get a big cut like that, you feel like you're gonna die. Like you feel like you're dying. I really remember that like emblazoned in my brain because it was terrifying. So that's the kind of gravel that's out the front there, but you know, it's fine. Okay, moving on to the inside. I play a lot with platforms in here. I don't think there's any platforms in the original house. I just wanted to use this as an opportunity to play with platforms because, you know, I would already put platforms in the front, and raised the building, and so I just knew that there was going to be an issue with the platforms. And I kind of liked the idea of all the old stuff at the front of the house, like the traditional mullet-y part of the build, being a little bit raised, and then when you want to come into the newer part of the build, into the actual mullet, that it's kind of sunk a little bit. I liked that idea of separation with the platforms. That was really fun for me. And this is not what was in the original build. I'm imagining that there was a bathroom here, but in the original build, if you look at the pictures from the mullet side, that big A-frame piece is a bedroom. But then you see that wall that juts out where I put the toilet behind. There was this wall that I was like, what's behind there? What's behind that wall? It looks so inviting. It looks so fun. I thought about putting a walk-in closet there, but then I was like, no. It would be kind of great to have like a really sleek, slick, like spa style bathroom and like have it be a little bit open, feel kind of inviting. Yeah, I think I end up putting a door there, but I liked the idea that you could see the bath. Like you can see the bath from the outside and be like, ooh, I would love to just like go and have a wee soak in that tub. That sounds really, really nice. And when you saw me opening the gallery just then, I was actually looking for like gallery modern art. I started looking for gallery modern art and then was like, you know what? Do you know what? I actually cannot be bothered to be looking for this art right now. I just want to build. I think I was watching a TV show at the same time, or YouTube videos. Who was I watching on YouTube? Who am I loving on YouTube right now? I'm loving Melanie Murphy on YouTube. She's like an Irish mum. Her content is so good. I don't know if any of you watch her, but I love her so much. I might have been watching her. I was watching her earlier today, actually, but you know, who knows? So the idea is, oh, where am I going? Oh, we're back. Okay. Oh, I know what happened. Then I accidentally X'd out and I got really nervous that I'd like lost my whole build. I basically had a panic attack. But you'll see that in the stuff that's modern, I use marble. So where it sinks down, I wanted there to be like kind of a separation between like this is the traditional and this is the new. And even on the traditional, it's not like I'm going oldie worldy farmhouse we live in like an Amish town kind of vibes, but you know, I wanted there to be hardwood. I wanted it to feel a little more cozy, but not quite the modern like luxury that exists in like the bedroom, for example. So it's a little more kitschy. You'll see I put a bedroom in the front of the house where that chevron is right now. See that big chevron room in the corner? I make that a bedroom. I think I end up changing that wallpaper, but that's a much more like quirky bohemian style room, whereas the one in the back is much more like eccentric. And I struggled with the floor plan here. This is a living room and then I have a dining in the sunken area. But I basically built all the bedrooms, the bathrooms, everything, and then realized, fork, I don't have a kitchen. And realized that I had, yes, it kind of intended for that middle room to be a kitchen, but didn't plan the floor plan accordingly at all. And really had to like double back and figure out how I was going to have all the rooms connected. I want everything to connect through a kitchen. That felt so weird, blah, blah, blah. And I think I ended up putting a hallway in there, but it was kind of a huge pain in the butt. And I remember while I was building this room, being really unsure about the neutrals. I really liked the idea of all the walls just being plain and neutral, you know, in keeping with that like kind of modern, like sleek theme. But I remember halfway through building this being like, does this look dingy? Is my build dingy? I don't want it to look dingy. I want it to look cool. And I think that gray is pretty cool toned. So I don't know if I would have gone with a warmer color in the end. I don't know. I find those cool tones can sometimes be dingy if it's not styled like properly. I think we got there in the end, but I remember really umming and ahhing about that. And then I think I ended up replacing these pictures with windows. I think that was another thing I remembered halfway through. I was like, oh God, this build doesn't have any windows in it. Where's all the windows? And there really aren't any windows from the front. Like if you look up this build in real life, there are no windows. Yeah, that's what I do. I put a little window there and then I put a more modern window in the back. And I kind of said figured I could get away with it because the tree covers the window. So it does look like the real build. Basically, it's just covered by the tree. So I let myself get away with putting a window in there. And we add a dining room down there, which at first I thought was going to be really small. But I actually was able to get a lot more accessorizing in there than I thought. I was able to get a credenza in there, some sculptures. I can't remember if I keep that armchair. Oh, Claire, I really hope you do keep that armchair because it looks great. Maybe we lose the armchair. But I thought that armchair looked great. This was the builds that I rediscovered that armchair. because it's really cute. I just thought it was a cute armchair, and I was like, I just forgot about that armchair altogether. So adorable. But yeah, I love that little credenza, adorable. And I think we put the hand on there and some other cute little bits, you know, that scream, just basically little sculptural bits that scream, this is a modern house. We are modern, interesting people that live here. Can't you tell by the fact that the front is one way and the back is another? Look at all of our tchotchkes. So I just really went for it. Oh yeah, we had to give them a little record player. I mean, come on. The people who live here have to have a record player. There's just no way around the fact that the people who live here definitely have a record player. And that's actually one of my favorite lighting fixtures in The Sims, point blank, period. Comes from the bowling pack, I believe. That bowling pack, like, low-key has some amazing build and buy-in there. If you guys are sleeping on the bowling pack, make sure you go and get it. That stuff pack is really good. So this is where I bring in more of that traditional feeling that I was telling you about before in the entryway. Of course, it's not like a traditional hokey-pokey old build, but you see I'm trying to bring in that, like, essence. We've got the big bench in there. Those hanging plants, I believe, are from Batu. Again, Batu is another pack that everyone absolutely craps on, but I think it's a great pack, you guys. It's a great pack. I don't even mind the gameplay. I know, I like the gameplay. I do. I'm that person. I like the Batu gameplay. This is where I think at this point I'd forgotten that I needed a kitchen and was trying to make like a rumpus room of some kind. I just completely forgot that homes need a kitchen so that you can eat food. And I think right after I finish this bathroom, I go, oh no. And there's like a pause where I try to figure it out. And with this bathroom, this is a guest bathroom and the bathroom for the living room, blah, blah, blah. You'll see me play test it a bunch. I really wanted to make that bath in the center of the bathroom. I desperately wanted that bath to be in the center of the bathroom. Because, I don't know, I feel like I got into a habit of putting my baths in like the corner of the build. And it just felt so ugly and sad, and I don't know, I love the idea of walking into a big bathroom in your house and having your bath be like right in the middle, screaming like, get inside of me, soak inside of me. I really want one of those in my own house. I love baths. I take at least one bath a week. If I can take 2 or 3, you know, I'm having a good week. So I tried really hard to make that happen. In the end, I didn't end up making that happen. But I still tried to make the bathroom cute, you know? I feel like I sometimes just get like a little complacent with my bathrooms, but we went with like a traditional vibe. Then we go into the bedroom, and you'll see this is where it's like a little bit more eclectic. I feel like actually the most traditional room in the house is the bathroom. It has the clawfoot tub. It's got some sconces in there. It's got some wallpapering. It's very cute. But here I didn't want it to be just like a traditional whatever, like suburban bedroom. I wanted it to feel eclectic. I wanted it to feel like, hey, someone with a really interesting, cool, modern sensibility lives here, and even though the pieces might be a little bit traditional, it's like going to be put together in a really fun way, and the execution is going to feel really like modern and bohemian and interesting. I really desperately wanted to make that chevron happen. I really tried to make that chevron wall happen. It was not going to happen, let me tell you right now. It was too busy, it was too much, and I love that little dresser. That dresser is one of my favorite things in this game. I will always love that dresser. But see how like we've got some traditional pieces in here with the dresser. The bookshelf's not so traditional, but that armchair, I feel like the green pulls the whole thing together. It makes such a difference. And I ended up taking that lamp away, that the one from the Moroccan kits, but that lamp is so good. That is one of my favorite pieces right now. I love that lamp from the kits. It is adorable. And that lamp too. Oh, that's a great lamp. I love that lamp a lot. I remember when I was building this thinking, wow, I really love this lamp.
I love lamp. I love lamp.
See, see this? Watch me. What you're seeing right now with the floor plan freak out, this is where I just remembered that I need to put a kitchen in here. This is me going, oh, bork. The bathroom is the wrong configuration for a kitchen to be here. There's got to be a hallway to make this make any kind of sense. Otherwise, you're going from a bedroom into a kitchen, which means your bedroom's just going to stink of food all the time, and who wants that? So that's where you see me add that little hallway in there. And then again, I go for like a mix between like farmhouse industrial in the kitchen. Want it to feel cool, but we have that Smeg fridge. We have a kind of like, you know, retro stove going on, bringing through this like greeny turquoisey color, which I think has that retro feel, especially with the Smeg fridge. That like dark seaweed green is such for me, just such a retro color and immediately makes any home feel just not traditional, but like it's rooted in something old or something storied, you know? I think it's just a color that for me feels very retro, very nostalgic. Reminds me of the 70s. So it's a narrow kitchen, like a galley kitchen, but completely functional, lots of storage. I tried to stay minimal on the clutter. I'm kind of having like not an anti-clutter moment, but I really went through a clutter phase where I was really obsessed with clutter. And I think I'm just over the clutter right now. Over lots of clutter, over lots of stuff. Just want a house to feel like clean and minimal. So my builds have been reflecting that a little bit. And this is where you really see the mulletness of this home. This is a very modern room. I actually have CC in this build. That CC, that little table is, I believe, Grim Cookie's CC from the minimal dining set he put out. And it is chef's kiss amazing. Ew, the welcome wagon is here. Go away, welcome wagon. We do not want to welcome you. But this is definitely the most modern room. You can tell a modern person lives here. We've got that step coming down, that nice dark gray wall. I can't remember if I ended up making 2 plants happen. That might have been one too many plants, but we'll see. And my art! I lost my art! I had a different piece of art there in the beginning. I'm glad I ended up going with the poster though. I think that movie poster is very cool. That's a picture that I put in a lot of my builds actually. And this wasn't in the original build, this outdoor space, but I just felt like you have an outdoor garden, like you've got all this cement down, which is in the original build. The outdoor space in the original build has a lot of cement. I was like, why not? Just, put that cement down. Why not just, you've got the cement down already. Just make a little seating area. There's the fire pit there already. Just like make it look cute. What is you doing? Just do it. So I'm also just fixing up the fence there. I wasn't sure about bringing it around the back, but I don't know. If I had a back garden, I've never had a back garden. I live in New York, so I have never had a back garden. But I would want it fenced in, even if it was small. I would still want the privacy. I think I would value the privacy over the space. So I put that little seating area off to the side, and then I thought the master bedroom should have its own sort of pseudo-private seating area. So I put a little sofa there, 2 armchairs, so that, maybe you've got friends over, maybe you're having a wee adult sleep over. Want to have a little sit outside, have a wee cocktail, So that's what we did. But I think it ended up looking super cute. All right, now let me quickly show you the build. All right, so I just opened up my game to show you the build. Oh no! My CC has disappeared. Oh, dearie me. My table's disappeared. Okay, hold on. I have to replace it with a different table. Bip, 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 bip. Bish, bash, bosh. All right, that'll do. So this is what it looks like from the front. We get the idea of this like very sleek grass, very manicured in these like little kind of fences, and you come up these concrete steps into your entryway, and we've got a little fence moment over here. Bench moment. It's not a fence, it's a bench. But we have this little bench moment, the sort of memories of the traditional life that this house once had. Then you come in through this door into your living room, and this is where you suddenly think, oh, this is a modern house. She do be modern. She do be multifaceted. This is before we had sectionals or anything. Now we have sectionals. But when I built this, we didn't yet. So I've used the Snowy Escape furniture to build a sectional and then take a step down into the dining room. And this dining room is pretty simple. Again, I tried to stay kind of clutter-free, but a really simple table in the middle, a little industrial lamp to remind us that, yes, this is a modern build. It screams modernity. And then you come down into this little hallway, and this is where you come to that bedroom. This is that eclectic bedroom that I created earlier, where you see like a little bit more of the traditional vibe, but it still feels modern. It still feels like a real home, like real human beings live here in the modern age, but we've got a little bit more of an eclectic, older feel. And then this is the bathroom. I did end up switching it around just a little bit. Oh, my soap didn't go. Do not perceive that soap. Do not perceive it. Do not perceive the soap. I meant to move it over there and I forgot. But this is the bathroom. Very cute. This is the kitchen that I was telling you about that has that retro feel. We got our bin kind of tucked away in a corner. But this is the kitchen. A nice, like, just long galley kitchen. Functional, but still super cute and stylish. And finally, this is the master bedroom. I love the monochrome. It's, I don't know, something about a monochrome just screams modern to me. We've got a couple of pops of color, like with that poster over there, with the plants, but ultimately we're trying to keep it pretty modern and neutral. Oh, Big glass sliding door. I would love a bedroom with a big glass sliding door into an outdoor space. Please give it to me. You come outside, we've got our little sofa area, place to chill, relax. And then over here we have our little seating area. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked my mullet build, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what kind of simming content you would like to see from me next. And if you love building and love gameplay, come and check us out on Twitch. I stream every week, 4 days a week, and it's good. It's good times over there. I'm not lying to you. It's really good times. So make sure you come check us out, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.